Waylon's Day Off. A Punch Girl Short Story by J.M. Riley. Chapter 1. Waylon prioritizes sleep. Deep rest repairs, restores, and refreshes, and there is no better launch pad to the day than heading into it fueled by a good night's rest. Go to bed early, wake up early. It's a Grimes family tradition, but if Waylon's folks could see his reflection in the mirror right now, they would shudder. He didn't sleep at all last night. They would understand, and they would suffer the consequences with him. They can't, though, and his lack of rest might cost him. Today is his solo audition, and he has prepared for months. Waylon and his voice coach rehearsed and rehearsed, breaking his song into manageable pieces, but it never sounded right until Tony had a great idea: practice in the church. Waylon asked the choir director for a key to the sanctuary, and after promising eternal loyalty and naming rights to his firstborn child, Waylon had access. Tony was right. The acoustics in the church were a game changer, different from anything the two of them could replicate in Tony's apartment. And after a few weeks, he was ready. Waylon counts the choir as one of his life's greatest achievements. But a solo? Hello, heaven. Bucket list, meet red marker. We're about to cross off an item. If he had slept, it's excitement and nerves, and it's nothing Cantor Wilson won't expect. Who wouldn't be nervous? If you're not anxious, you don't want it badly enough. That's excellent. That should be the Grimes family motto, along with "A Grimes never quits." Waylon gives his chest a reassuring pat and strips off his pajamas. He steps into the steaming shower and warms his voice with vocal exercises. Bee-bub-bub, wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. While he washes, he moves on to the scales. C, 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 C. A, 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 A. E, 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 E. C minor, C minor, C minor. The shower performs its magic, washing away Waylon's anxiety and giving him the energy boost that always comes with tidying, even if he is the object in need. He steps out and dries himself, scooping up his phone on the way to the bedroom. A reminder fills the screen. Solo audition, 7 p.m. Don't mess this up. Waylon salutes the phone, dresses, and moves through his apartment to the kitchen. As important as sleep, a nutritious breakfast will fortify him for the workday ahead, as if he'll get any work done today. He sits with his peanut butter toast, banana, blueberries, and ginger tea, and hums his piece for tonight. He halts mid-chew, his eyes widening in alarm, and says, "Is it Lord or my Lord?" A quick check of his phone answers the question, silencing his alarms, and Waylon finishes his breakfast, busses his dishes, and heads out for work. Seated behind the wheel of his Honda, the first complication of his day arises. The car won't start. Waylon cranks the key, and it clicks in the cylinder, but that's it. No coughing that might signal engine trouble. No tick-tick-tick that tells him the battery is dead. AAA can't solve this. He pauses for a moment to allow the blood to recede from his head. This is what lack of sleep brings: impatience and panic. This would not have happened if he had. Anyway, the devil is at work, and the devil can be beaten. Good beats evil all the time, and car trouble isn't the worst evil anyone ever suffered. Try to tell all the bike riders in the city about your car trouble. He needs his car, though. Extra items fill today's agenda. There's a trip to the music store for new sheet music. He and Tony set up a last-minute lesson to polish his performance, not to mention work and the unexpected chores that come with it. Waylon tries the key again with no divine intervention, and he taps the car dealership number he has saved in his phone. When the operator answers, Waylon says, "Hey, Pamela, guess who?" Santa? No, wait, Tooth Fairy? One more guess. Is this you, Obama? Waylon cracks up. That's a good one. Obama. Pamela says, "What's the matter? Trouble with Liz?" Yeah, she won't start. Is Runyon available? I think I'm going to need a tow. Sorry, no one's available. We're totally booked. There are lots of sales associates standing around, though. Can they drive the tow truck? Hardly. The only thing they can drive is me crazy. Why don't you get a new car, Waylon? And give up on old Lizzie? How dare you? You're lucky you're not on speaker. A moment of silence passes, and Waylon says, Are you sure, Pammy? I have an audition tonight. Choir soloist. I need my ride. Hang on. Hold music plays long enough to complete a loop and start again. When Pamela returns, she says, Runyon says no way today. He can get to you tomorrow, if you can get the car to him. He suggested AAA if you remember. I am, but I live outside the 7-mile radius. It's going to cost a fortune. He said if you're not, you could call Morty's. Waylon clutches his heart with a dramatic hand. Morty's tow? That will cost me more than the car. I wish I could help, Waylon, but I gotta go. There's other calls. For sure. I'll be fine. See you soon, Pamela. I'll be the one who looks like a sexy former president. The call cuts off amid Pamela's laughs, and Waylon is grateful for that. As she tried to help him, offering friendly suggestions, he heard the negativity in his voice. That's too late. That's too expensive. He'll need to shape up before he stands in front of Cantor Wilson and the choir tonight, or no amount of rehearsal will save him. Step 1. Get to work. How do people without cars get to work? He has no bicycle, and he has no money to waste on expensive drive time ride shares. But the city operates buses. Many people use them, and if they can figure it out, so can he. Revise Step 1. Catch the bus. Waylon gathers his briefcase and belongings and exits his car. He locks it, steps away, and halts. He reverses and halts again, searching the horizon in every direction. Revise Step 1. Find a bus stop. Chapter 2. The suite's lobby door swings open, and Waylon breezes past the vacant reception desk, giving it a brief glance. The mail won't come until this afternoon, but deliveries can come any time, so there's no harm in checking. He lengthens his strides, passing the closed doors of his professional code tenants, and he covers the hallway to his 265-square-foot space in record time. The day is getting away from him, so there's no time to waste. At the end of the corridor, he turns right at the elbow, no corner office for him, and passes 2 doors, one open and one closed. Stephanie Schmidt works at all hours, so she could be behind her door performing important legal work, or she could be somewhere else. Through the open door, Alec Baum, an accountant with a wicked sense of humor, glances up from his desk, and Waylon can't help stopping. He leans a shoulder against Alec's doorway and says, "Hey, buddy, ask me about my morning." Alec removes his glasses and says, "Do I have to?" Classic Alec Baum, dry as desert sand. Waylon cracks up and launches into the story of his day so far. The Honda will have to wait, of course, but it turns out that not every bus stops at every bus stop. To get where they want to go, riders must walk or ride and switch, which doubles the fare. It's fascinating. I don't know why I never considered it. Did you know that? Literally everyone knows that, Alex says. Waylon knocks his knuckles against his forehead. Hello, Waylon? Anybody home? He continues, explaining that his impromptu adventure would matter less if it happened on any other day. The stakes for this evening make today the worst possible day, and after last night's fitful sleep. The moment requires Alec to speak, so he says, "I'm sure it'll work out." Which, the car or the audition? Both. Good luck with both. From your mouth to God's ears. I gotta go, buddy. I'll let you know if I hear anything. Alec blinks at Waylon, lingering in the doorway. I thought you had to go. Alec, classic. Always keeping it real. See you, buddy. Waylon crosses the hall and unlocks his office door, entering and appreciating the professional camaraderie of his neighbors. He sits behind his desk, unpacks his briefcase, and opens his laptop. While it starts, He fills his lungs with air, focusing on his breathing. Tony warned him he would be nervous tonight, and that anxiety could steal his air, thinning his voice. The key is to prepare the lungs and breathe. The laptop chimes, and Waylon exhales a long, therapeutic breath. As he taps his keyboard, opening his calendar, he hums his solo piece and pauses at the same spot as before. My Lord, my Lord. Come on, Waylon. What? Waylon separates his personal and professional business, so he keeps two calendars which he merges when appropriate. With his mind occupied, he must have forgotten, and a fever wraps his head and neck. He should not have a client call this afternoon. It's not even a client, it's an inquiry, a potential client, and Waylon needs to make a good impression. He grabs his phone from the desktop and thumbs to his personal calendar, cross-referencing with the one on his computer. Not only did he schedule a business development call, but he booked it at the same time he booked Tony for his last-minute lesson. This is no good. He closes his eyes and pants shallow breaths. Is it hot in here? He stands and crosses to the portable fan resting on his file cabinet, switching it on. The fan must have received the day's memo because it responds like the Honda, with silence. Nothing. As Waylon stares at the still fan blades, his fever radiates from his face. He twists the switch through all its cycles, and nothing works, giving new license to his hands. They grip the unresponsive device intent on violence, but Waylon pauses them. His eyes follow the electrical cord to its dangling end, and he grins. Electrical things need electricity to run. Take it easy, Waylon. He grabs the loose cord, stretches it to the wall plug, and thwop. A shock jolts Waylon's hand, and he drops the plug with a yelp. That might be why he unplugged it in the first place. A trip down the hall to the kitchen gains him a bag of ice and a pleasant chat with Stephanie Schmidt. He didn't ask if she was on her way in or out, but he did tell her about the danger of inexpensive portable fans. It's lucky that his shoe soles are rubber. Back in his office, Waylon closes his door and calls Tony to explain the bad news. She responds with unfortunate news of her own. She cannot meet later. If he must move the client meeting, he will, but the reschedule will start the relationship on a rocky path, so he would like to avoid that if he can. He says, "Do you have any time at all? I'm having a terrible day." "Can you come now?" "Right now?" "If you can come now, we'll get you polished so bright that Cantor Wilson will need sunglasses to look at you." "Thank you! Yes! I'm on my way!" Waylon ends the call, exits and locks his office, and freezes. He has no car. His phone chimes in his pocket, and he pulls it out to check. It's good news and bad news. He has a car now, but his ride is taking him somewhere else. Chapter 3. With his emergency business completed, Waylon's ride drops him off near Tony's apartment over an hour late. He walks the rest of the way clutching his sheet music, and outside, he rings the bell, checking his watch. Tony warned him she only had a small window for him. He hums his rehearsed song on the sidewalk and tries Tony's buzzer again, but disappointment answers for her. It huffs failure and dismay through the speaker slots, and Waylon gobbles it up. The tests are coming fast and furious today, stacking one on top of another. He rubs his singed hand and walks, hoping to find a bus stop, and by the time he does, the exercise has lifted his spirits. Entering the bus, chatting with the driver, transferring, and meeting his fellow riders buoyed his attitude more. And as he enters his office, Tony places the cherry on top. On Waylon's phone, her message says, "I'm sorry I had to go. I waited. You got this. You're my most improved student, my hardest worker, and you're going to blow the lid off of that sanctuary tonight." She ended with emojis of an angel, praying hands, and an exploding house, which tickled Waylon. With time to spare, Waylon completes a productive call with his potential new client, tidies up some other business, and meditates at his desk, clearing his mind. Before heading to his audition, he still needs to stop at the dry cleaners for his choir robe, the music store for new sheet music, and he would like to get some food to eat at home in case his nervous stomach wants to sing a tune of its own. He has time for all of it, but it will cost him. The bus is an amusing diversion, but it's impractical, so he must save any new public transportation discoveries for another day. For the rest of the day, he will ride in style, in the back of a chauffeured rideshare. He should have taken the bus. His first ride, filthy, smelly, and more dangerous than a rickshaw on an interstate, takes the longest possible route, twice reversing course, to the wrong dry cleaners. After correcting his mistake, the driver drops Waylon outside the correct establishment, and Waylon heads inside for his robe. Cleaned, pressed, and ready to make the best possible impression, the choir robe signifies a higher tier than the average churchgoer. It's active, not passive, a participant. It costs more to clean than a dress shirt, but it's worth it, if it ever arrives. Waylon leans past the counter, searching for the owner, who returns minutes later with a frown. He pinches his face at Waylon's ticket and says, "I don't think it's back yet." "Back? From where?" "Some garments we send out for special cleaning." Waylon's hand grips his forehead. "I need that robe. My audition is tonight." "It will be ready tomorrow, I promise." No, that's too late. My audition is tonight." The dry cleaner scratches his head and shifts his eyes between the ticket and the racks of clothes filling his shop. He says, "I'm not supposed to do this. I shouldn't." "What? Tell me." "I could give you another one." Waylon's eyes blink in confusion. "Another one what? Robe?" "Someone else's, to borrow for tonight." "You have another choir robe? That would be great." 20 minutes later, after a lengthy search, the shop owner returned and wished Waylon good luck. Outside, Waylon inspects his borrowed garment in the diminishing sunlight. A bright blue graduation robe. Wrong color, wrong size, wrong everything. The church's choir robes are white. In this, he'll stick out like a fly in a glass of milk. It's a robe, though, so it has that one thing going for it. It comes with an interesting story, too, and the color could be a feature, not a bug. Aren't soloists supposed to stand out? By definition? He can sell this if he can get there on time with the right music. Next stop, Big Sheet's music. Then home for a quick... Waylon's phone interrupts him on his way to the rideshare app, and he throws his graduation robe over his shoulder with a flare and answers with a smile. "Hey, buddy, guess where I am?" "You guess where I am," Garrett says. Garrett and Waylon work out together, gym buddies since they both tested out a free trial week. "Since you're my spotter and workout partner, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're at the gym." "How'd I do? Did I win a fabulous showcase of prizes?" "Waylon, all expense paid vacation? Did I tell you I tried out for a game show once?" "They won't let me in," Garrett says. "Who's that?" "If it's the ladies' room attendant, we've talked about that, buddy. This is an all-inclusive gym, but we haven't gotten to co-ed bathrooms yet." "The gym, the desk. They won't let me in because I don't have my pass." "Them's the rules, Gare. Members only. You gotta have a pass. What happened? Did you lose yours? I'm sure they can replace..." "I didn't lose it, Waylon. It's in my other bag. A bag that should be here in my locker, but I'm so busy shuffling things around that I can't find anything because I'm sharing locker space with you." Waylon sucks air through his teeth. Garrett allowed him to share locker space to avoid the rental fee, and Waylon moved in and never moved out. The agreement was temporary, but since they were such close buds, he never meant to inconvenience Garrett, but he has. Apologize, remedy, move on. That's the formula, and Waylon launches into the first step, taking accountability. He promises to move out of Garrett's locker right away, and he instructs his friend to hand the phone to the membership employee at the desk, where he convinces the staffer to allow Garrett through this one time, on the condition that the membership card arrives before Garrett completes his workout. Fair enough, and Garrett's frustrated voice returns to the line. Waylon asks for directions, and Garrett says, "I'll text you my address." "What about a hidden key or anything? Alarm? Vicious guard dog?" "There's a code for the door. I'll text that too. Just go in, get my bag, and come back out. Don't hang around. No snooping, okay?" Check. No accidental discovery of Garrett's underground S&M dungeon. Waylon, I'm joking. In and out. I'll be there in 2 shakes. Please do. I can't hang around here. No worries, buddy. Waylon Grimes is on the case. The call ends and Garrett's text chimes. Waylon taps the address and frowns. Big Sheet's music is north-northwest at 11 on a clock face. The gym is due north, 12 o'clock. Waylon taps for directions to Garrett's house and back, and the line stretches all the way down the map to 6 o'clock. The exact opposite direction. Big Sheets closes at 5, so he should be able to travel to Garrett's and back to the gym before Garrett finishes his workout and still make it in time to pick up his sheet music. He and Tony made a mess of his sheets, covering them in notes, bending them, and folding them. Crisp new sheet music adds a professional touch to the audition and shows Cantor Wilson that he appreciates the little details. New sheets are not necessary, but if he can, Waylon wants to impress. The trip to Garrett's house takes longer than expected, and the gym bag hides like Waylon wants to arrest it. By the time he returns and meets Garrett, showered and changed at the front desk, it's 4:52. By the time he soothes Garrett and thanks the gym staffers for their understanding, it's 4:56. The same rideshare driver picks Waylon up in front of the gym and takes him to Big Sheets, where Waylon rushes from the car with his blue robe at 5:07. The closed sign and darkened interior chasten him like a schoolmarm. If he had planned his day better, this wouldn't have happened. If he had slept, a brighter boy would have avoided all this. The schoolmarm is right, but she doesn't know everything. Waylon has other obligations, unpredictable ones, and when they arise, he must respond. Let's see how well the bright boys handle that. It's not the end of the world anyway. His current sheet music is fine. Panic slaps Waylon with a giant, freezing cold palm, and he searches his hands. He has the robe, but behind him, the empty curb sticks an icicle in his heart. He left his music in the car. Now he has no music at all. His shallow, panting breaths fire his idea engine, reassuring him. It's fine. He'll go to the audition, explain to Cantor Wilson what happened, and she'll understand. She might have additional music sheets for him, but if she doesn't, that's fine too. They can postpone until tomorrow, when Waylon will arrive at Big Sheets first thing, get new music, visit Tony for a polish, and nail the audition tomorrow night. Unless she assigns the soloists on the spot, or any time the next day. The other contenders will come prepared, and they can all sing. If Waylon postpones, he will eliminate himself. The panic wave refreshes, and Waylon raps several sharp knocks on the closed shop door. The knocks transition to pounds, rattling the door in its frame, and before Waylon can huff and puff and blow the house down, a light switches on inside. A silhouette approaches the door and peeks through the glass. Yes. Oh my God, thank you, Waylon says. The man shakes his head. He points to the closed sign, and as he pivots away, Waylon pounds and speaks a steady 60-second stream, recounting his day from Liz's engine trouble this morning, to the double booking between Tony and a client, to losing his sheets in the Uber. He expresses the importance and the urgency of his need and positions the shop owner as a superhero if he can help an unfortunate citizen in peril. The shop owner sags and speaks through the door, refusing to open it. You have money? Waylon removes his wallet and slides out a credit card. I'll even give you the reward miles. Put it through the slot. The man points to the mail slot, and with the card in hand, he confirms the music Waylon wants, makes no promises, and disappears. Several minutes later, he returns with a bundle in his hand, and Waylon presses his palms together in thanks. The shop owner slides the papers and credit card through the slot, and after Waylon checks the song title, he gushes at his savior. Over it, the man flaps a dismissive hand and retreats into the store, shutting off the lights. Waylon fails to notice that his new music is written in a different key. Chapter 4. Waylon returns home exhausted, and his voice scratches in his throat. When he swallows, he hears a click on the left side. He talked too much today. He should have rested his voice. Every part of him needs rest, but now he has no time. There's time to shower, shave, whack down some sustenance, review his audition piece, and head to the church. The shower and shave rejuvenate, but the leftover food disagrees with Waylon's insides. If they grumble during his audition, that's one thing, but if they interrupt it, if he must remove his robe and scurry to the sanctuary restroom while everyone waits, the fantasy elevates Waylon's stress and his stomach's volume. Push through it, Waylon. A Grimes never quits. He trills a vocal warm-up, and his voice cracks. He sings a few words, and each one clashes with the last. His throat closes like an hourglass, leaking individual molecules of air in single file, and he closes his eyes, focusing on his breathing. After several calming seconds, Waylon gathers his robe, music, key. Cantor Wilson provided Waylon with a key to the sanctuary so he could practice, but she expects him to return it. Where's the key? Waylon pats himself all over and retraces his steps to the bedroom, the bathroom, and back. In the kitchen, he exhales relief. He attached the key to his key ring. Duh. Still, the key. The key. His eyes shift to his music, and they widen. Oh no. G major? In his rush at Big Sheets, he forgot to specify the key signature of the music he wanted. The owner must have assumed he was a baritone, but he's not. He's an alto, maybe a tenor, a talto, but not a baritone. The notes are in different places. What a mess. And his stomach grumbles in agreement. It's 6:37. Time to leave. Now or never. Waylon arrives at the church wearing his blue robe and carrying his mismatched music sheets, and the sight of the other soloists drains his hope. In their pristine white robes, chirping their warm-up tones like sparrows, they look like angels. They represent the goal, not equals, and that's okay. Some things are not meant to be. His stomach voices its agreement, and Waylon charts the most direct path to the restroom. At 7 on the dot, Cantor Wilson enters from a side door and double takes at Waylon's bright blue amid the white, before thanking everyone for coming and explaining that everyone will have the chance to sing in private. The soloists may take as many chances as they need to get their best audition out. They are all volunteers, and the cantor wants a positive and encouraging experience for everyone, even if it means taking a little extra time. When none of the auditioners have questions, Cantor Wilson asks for volunteers. Who would like to go first? The first soloist disappears with the cantor, and soon a perfect clear pitch pierces the closed door and flutters above the waiting choir members. Waylon's throat squeezes closed again, and he breathes through it until his phone chimes in his pocket, slamming it shut. Several accusing eyes shift to him as he fumbles beneath his robe, retrieving his phone to silence it, and he stares at the screen. He has to go. Waylon has obligations he would rather keep private, and this is one. A quick head count tells him he can sing last and have enough time. If he hurries, he exits the church, returning an hour and 15 minutes later to relief and dismay. The conflicting emotions wash over him as he re-enters the chapel. On one hand, he envisioned returning to Cantor Wilson's crossed arms and deep scowl, or worse, coming back to a darkened church. But 2 singers remain, and for the first time today, Waylon thanks his good luck. Until he hears the voice coming from the rehearsal room, it's divine, and he cannot top it. The final 2 singers stand apart, each clasping their hands and humming at the floor. They raise haunted eyes at Waylon's reappearance, and Waylon recognizes their pain. He thought his nerves were unique, but his fellow choir members doubt themselves as much as any human being who performs and asks for judgment. Their lack of courage emboldens Waylon, and he approaches them. I thought I missed it. We thought you left. Where did you go? I had to go out. I picked these up, though. Waylon fishes in the pockets under his robe and presents 2 tiny spray bottles to his nervous comrades. They take the gifts, and Waylon says, "It's herbal throat spray. It works really well." The other 2 shrug and spray a few pumps, swallowing and acclimating to the taste. They hum and test their throats, grinning, and as they thank Waylon, Cantor Wilson opens the door and steps through. She says, Oh, you're multiplying. I thought there were only two of you. I had to leave for a second, Waylon says, but I'm back now. The cantor smiles at the blue and white contrast. I see that. Who would like to go next? Mr. Grimes? Waylon raises his palms and shoulders. Might as well. The other two wish Waylon good luck, and he steps into the audition room. As the door closes, leaving him alone with Cantor Wilson, his hands and feet tingle, threatening numbness, but a single sight warms them back to life. On a black music stand, several pages of sheet music smile at him. He checks the key signature next to the clef and returns the music's greeting with a smile of his own. It's his music, written for an alto. Waylon points. Can I use this? Sure. I have the tenor clef if you'd rather use that. No, this is perfect. Waylon meanders into the story of his G major sheet music, but a rapid shift of Cantor Wilson's eyes to the wall clock stops him. It has been a long day and night. Time to sing. 2.5 minutes later, Cantor Wilson smiles and says, You do go 100%, don't you? Is that okay? I know that choir is a group activity and no one should stand out, but I figured a soloist should sing to the back pew. Maybe I should go again. I can tone it down. That would probably add layers, wouldn't it? Like, draw the audience in. Also, that wasn't my best performance from a technical perspective. My voice teacher, Tony, I told you about her. Cantor Wilson presses her palms toward Waylon, stopping him. You did great. When are you available to sing during service? Waylon wants to answer, but his mouth refuses. When the words come, they burst free. I made it? I passed? Would you like to sing during service? Would I? I'm here every week. I can sing whenever. You tell me when, and I'm there. When do you need me? Cantor Wilson says, Whenever you'd like. I've scheduled the others, but nothing is set in stone. Which others? When are they singing? I don't want to step on anyone's moment, but I'd rather not follow certain people, if you know what I mean. So far, everyone has signed up, but like I said, schedules change, so nothing is set. Everyone? Everyone made it? Sure, if someone wants to sing in church, who am I to say they can't? A sliver of Waylon's pride wants to balk, but his heart floods with gratitude. He wanted to earn a solo, and he did. Cantor Wilson has it exactly right. This is how it should be. Waylon chooses a Sunday on the Cantor's schedule and exits the room with a smile wide enough to light the sanctuary. He stops at his two remaining companions and says, Do your best. Have fun. Everyone makes it. Flush with victory and in no rush, Waylon takes the city bus home. Tomorrow's troubles greet him there. Car, work, other obligations. Tomorrow's problems belong to tomorrow, though. Tonight, Waylon Grimes is a soloist. He sends a text to Tony, expressing heartfelt gratitude, and after a satisfying, cleansing poop, he sleeps straight through the night. Wait until Alec and Stephanie hear. The end